Hello everybody, Didi back again, another video. Alright guys, today's video is gonna be about I have some opinion about the world ranking, what I think about the world ranking, I usually don't speak about the world ranking, and but I feel that I need to say my words, my take on about the world ranking in tennis. We all know that who is the world number one, guys, who is the world number two, who world number three, world number four, etc, etc, etc. The most important here is who is the world number one at the current moment in tennis, and that is the hype player Carlos Alcaraz, the new US Open champion from last month. Does the world ranking in tennis say the truth? Is Carlos Alcaraz the best tennis player in the world? Like the world ranking is saying. The world ranking is saying that Carlos Alcaraz is the best tennis player in the world. No! Hell no! He is for sure not the best tennis player in the world. This world ranking in tennis is a completely joke, according to me. Of all the things that the ATP has done, taking points, stealing points from Djokovic and from Medvedev and from you name it, Carlos Alcaraz has been benefited the most with this world ranking. He is for sure not the best tennis player in the world. Even though that the world ranking is saying that he's the number one, he's on the top list. He has the number one between his name, in front of his name, but he's not the best tennis player in the world. My tennis fans all around the world. Yeah, I know he won US Open. He completely deserved that win, without any shadow of a doubt. But we all know that Novak Djokovic was not there. Is it a certainty that Djokovic would have won that US Open if he would have played? Is that a sure thing? No, it is not. But he would for sure be one of the top favorites, top three favorite for sure. Absolutely. If Casper Ruud can make it to the final, and we all know that Casper Ruud is a 250 class player. He has never won a 500 class tournament in his life, Casper Ruud. Nothing against Casper Ruud, but for me to really start taking him really serious, Casper Ruud, I take him serious. I really do. He's the world number three. He's the world number three for a reason, and a big reason for that is he has played 2 Grand Slam finals this year. French Open final earlier this year, which he lost in straight sets, and then US Open final, which he lost in 4 sets. The French Open final against Nadal, he didn't stand a chance. He was outplayed from Nadal, from his big idol. In US Open, he was not outplayed. He actually should have taken that match to a 5th set, considering that he had 2 set points in the 3rd set against Carlos Alcaraz. He should really have been 2-1 lead. He should have had a 2-1 lead, Casper Ruud against Carlos Alcaraz. But we all know what happened. Carlos Alcaraz saved those 2 set points in the 3rd set, won the 3rd set in tiebreaker, and then won the 4th set. So Casper Ruud, he needs to start winning some 500 class tournaments. He has never won one single 500 class tournament. All of his tournament wins that Casper has won are in 250 class tournament. So what I want to say that the ATP ranking is a joke on the men's side. It really is. For me, the best tennis player in the world, it is Novak Djokovic. And if you look at the ATP ranking, who is the world number one? Yeah, the player I just talked about, Carlos Alcaraz. The world number 2, Casper Ruud, a player who has never won a 500 class tournament. No, I'm sorry. The world number 2 is Rafa Nadal. I'm sorry. Rafa Nadal, he really deserved to be world number 2. He has won 2 major tournaments this year, 2 Grand Slam titles, Australian Open and French Open. So nothing against Rafa. Rafa, he really deserves to be up there. Casper Ruud, the world number 3. His highest world number 3, Casper Ruud, and before he even after US Open he was even as high as world number 2. The world number 4 is Dan Medvedev. He has won one single tournament this year. What has he done? He has won one single tournament, Dan Medvedev. The world number 4. The world number 5, Stefanos Tsitsipas. He has won 2 tournaments this year. 2, my friends, all around the world. The world number 6, Alexander Sasha Zverev. How many tournaments has he won this year? 1 or 2, something like that. Not more than so. 1 or 2. Don't know exactly how much. And the world number 7, Novak Djokovic, who has won 4 tournaments this year. As many as Nadal. Nadal has won 4 as well, if I'm not mistaken. As many as Carlos Alcaraz, who has also won 4. And Novak Djokovic has won 4. And some of you can say now, but Nadal has won 4 and he has won 2 Grand Slam titles. 1 more than Djokovic this year, 1 more than Carlos Alcaraz this year. Yeah, that's true. But the big difference is here that Djokovic has not been allowed to play in 2 of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments that has been played this year. We all know that Djokovic he was not allowed to play Australian Open and he was not allowed to play US Open. I'm pretty confident that if Djokovic would have played Australian Open and US Open, he for sure would have won at least one of these 2 tournaments. At least one of these 2 tournaments. He would have won, guys. He would. Just look at the guy. Just for God's sakes, look at the guy. In best scenario, he maybe would have won both of them. Both Australian Open and US Open. Look at the guy. What has he done since his Wimbledon run, where he won his 7th Wimbledon title? Novak Djokovic. And his 21st Grand Slam title. He was just out of the competition for 3 months. He played the Lever Cup, looked really good there. He just destroyed the semi-finalists from US Open, Francis Tiafoe, in straight easy sets, and then lost against Felix Auger-Aliassime. I know that was a little surprising there to lose against Felix Auger-Aliassime, but it is not a shame losing to a guy like that. Felix Auger-Aliassime is, after all, a top 10 player. And hits the big ball, hits the ball hard, has a big forehand, big serve. Felix Auger-Aliassime's biggest weaknesses is his mentality game, his mentality. Both the Canadian dudes, Felix and Chapo, they both are very, very weak mentally. Very, very weak mentally. They have a tremendous potential, both of them, but they are so weak mentally, and that's why they have been around for a couple of years in tennis on the ATP Tour for 4 or 5 years, but they have not done much. Both of them have won only 1 tournament each. Felix 1 tournament title, Chapo 1 tournament title. Why? They have the potential, they don't have the mind. Tennis is 60% mentally, 40% skills. Some of tennis analysts out there say it is 80% mentally and 20% skills. I don't agree about that. It is not. You cannot just think, I'm good, I'm better than this guy, I will not surrender, I will win tennis matches, I will not give up, etc., and don't have the skills. If that was the case, why didn't David Ferrer never won a Grand Slam title? He was not mentally weak. Man, he played tennis like his life was on the line. David Ferrer. He was not mentally weak, David Ferrer. He never won a Grand Slam title in his life. He had a good career. He won a bunch of ATP Tour titles on the tour, but never a Grand Slam title. He played only a Grand Slam final once in his career in French Open back in 2013, which he lost against Rafa Nadal. Of course he lost. All of those 14 finalists, all of the 14 finals that Rafa Nadal has played at French Open, he has defeated all of them. And he has not defeated 14 opponents on those finals, because some of those opponents he has faced several times, like Federer 4 times, like Djokovic 3 times. Anyway, so David Ferrer lost very expected against Rafa Nadal in that 2013 French Open final. What I want to say is that David Ferrer is not weak mentally, but he doesn't have the skills. So I don't agree about some tennis analysts out there that say tennis is 80% in the head and 20% on the skills. No. In my opinion, it is 60% on the head, 60% and 40% in the skills. So, what I want to say is that Novak Djokovic is the best tennis player in the world. The world ranking that we are seeing, my tennis fans all around the world, is lying. It really is. Carlos Alcaraz is not the best tennis player in the world. Rafa Nadal is not the best tennis player in the world. It is Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic it is his own fault that he was not allowed to play two Grand Slam tournaments, Australian Open and US Open. It is his own fault. If you take decisions, you need to take the consequences. And he took a decision. He refused to take the vaccine. We respect that. We do. But it is nobody else's fault besides his own. That he was not allowed to play Australian Open and US Open, he has only himself to blame. But one thing remains a fact. The fact is that he didn't play those two hardcore Grand Slam tournaments, Australian Open and US Open. And if he would have been allowed to play both of those two, I am pretty confident that he would have won at least one of them. At least one of them. At least. I don't think that he would have lost both of them. So, Djokovic would have been with two Grand Slam titles in the end of the year, because we all know he won Wimbledon. Maybe the best scenario 3, maybe. French Open, he really was never close to winning. Nadal will always be the man to beat there, even though that Djokovic won French Open last year. Nadal is the man to beat. He's the clay court beast, clay court machine, clay court Terminator, the greatest clay court player of all time. Is it a record that we will never see being broken? I truly believe it will be French Open. I never believe that we will see someone ever win 14 French Open titles. I really don't believe so. I just don't think so. I think that is a record that will be unmatched, unbroken. The only player who can match that is only Rafa Nadal himself. And what is the scary part with this, that he most likely he's not won his last French Open title. If he's healthy, when Rafa will retire, because I think Rafa's retirement is also around the corner. I truly believe that. He will do that due to injury, exactly like Federer did. Nadal, when he will call it a day, he will do that because of his health will not allow him to play more tennis. Exactly like Federer's health didn't allow him to play more tennis. Federer just couldn't play more tennis because his body said enough is enough. Father Time will catch up with everybody, and it will catch up with Nadal as well. I don't think Nadal will end his career on top like Pete Sampras did, for instance, 20 years ago, back in 2002 when he won the US Open, and after that he never played a tennis match again. I don't think Nadal will get that kind of retirement, exactly like Federer didn't do it either. So if Nadal is healthy and he will play French Open next year, he will be the man to beat. He will be the man to beat. Rafa Nadal will always be the man to beat. No matter how he looks before, no matter if he doesn't win one single clay court match, if a guy wins a tournament 14 times, he will bloody well be the man to beat. So, what Nadal has done at French Open, I don't think we'll never see be repeated again. Never. But Wimbledon, Federer's 8 titles can be broken. I think that a player like Djokovic has big chance of equaling that record, maybe even breaking that record, because Djokovic is only 1 behind Federer in the Wimbledon titles. Federer has 8, Djokovic has 7. So what I want to say with this video, the purpose of this video is that the ATP ranking my tennis friends all around the world is a joke. Just look at Djokovic. He was out of the competition for 2-3 months. He played the Laver Cup. It was there I was when I was talking about Djokovic. Djokovic was out of the competition for 2-3 months after Wimbledon, when he won Wimbledon for the 7th time and his 21st Grand Slam title. He played the Laver Cup, destroyed Tiafoe, who just defeated Nadal in the 4th round of the US Open, and went to the semi-final in US Open. And Djokovic lost against Felix Yassin, but I've heard that because I don't follow Laver Cup. For me, the Laver Cup is a joke. It is an exhibition tournament. I never follow that tournament. Period. That tournament is just to bring on money. It is just for business. It is not a tournament that I enjoy watching, and I never watched it. But I know that Djokovic destroyed Tiafoe, and I know that Djokovic lost against Felix. But I heard that Djokovic had some kind of a health issues against Felix. I heard about that. I don't know if it is quite true. Anyway, he lost against Felix. It is not a shame losing over Felix. Felix is a good player because he has good skills. He almost defeated Nadal at French Open earlier this year. Almost. Felix was the only player who pushed Nadal the most at French Open this year. He was the only player who took Nadal to 5 sets. Not even Djokovic couldn't do that this year's French Open. After that, Djokovic has been cleaning up the ATP Tour, guys. He has been cleaning up. He has been in kind of a great mode level. Maybe not in beast mode level, but for sure in great mode level. He won in Tel Aviv, a small tournament for sure. But he won it without dropping one single set. Without dropping one single set. Besides being out of the competition for 3 months. If we don't count the Laver Cup, which for me is an exhibition tournament. He cleaned up the Tel Aviv tournament and won it in straight sets all of his matches. Defeated Cilic in the final. Cilic has been pretty solid this year. And then in the Astana last week, he also looked solid. He dropped only one set there, the entire tournament. And that set was against Daniel Medvedev in the semi-final. All credit to Daniel Medvedev, who looked really good actually in that tournament. The best Daniel Medvedev I've seen since Australian Open, because Daniel Medvedev has had a horrible year this year. Like I said earlier in the video, Daniel Medvedev has won only one tournament this year. He wore Daniel Medvedev out. He wore him down physically. He gave Daniel Medvedev his own medicine. He wore him down from the baseline. Daniel Medvedev was probably a better player in both sets, like Djokovic said after the match. He was a better player. But at the end of the day, who was the winner? It was Djokovic. Tennis is not only about winning. You have to also be the last man standing. Who was the last man standing? It was for sure not Medvedev, it was Djokovic. Because we all know that Medvedev, after the second set tiebreak, which he lost, he pulled out the match with injury. So, Djokovic won Medvedev down physically from the baseline. It was not the same kind of a match like we saw in last year's Paris final, where Djokovic played a lot of first strike tennis and attacked the mat. Here in this match against Medvedev, Djokovic won Medvedev down from baseline. He gave Medvedev his own medicine, because Medvedev is darn good in winning his opponents down from baseline. Djokovic gave Medvedev his own medicine in that semi-final. And in the final, what can you say, my tennis fans all around the world? Tsitsipas just doesn't have the goods. He doesn't have the shot tolerance. He doesn't have the patience in competing with Novak Djokovic from the baseline. Djokovic was just a wall in the final against Tsitsipas and just squeezed a lot of unforced errors from Tsitsipas' racket. As long as Tsitsipas doesn't improve his returns, it doesn't improve his backhand, he's not a match for Novak Djokovic. Let's be honest. What is the head-to-head now between Djokovic and Tsitsipas? 8-2 to Djokovic. So, Djokovic has been superior after Wimbledon. He is the man to beat the entire year. He is the best tennis player in the world, even though that he is the number 7th in the world ranking. It is not Carlos Alcaraz. All respect to Carlos Alcaraz, but he's not the best tennis player in the world. He just is not. I still think, according to me, he's little overhyped yet. What has Carlos Alcaraz done to US Open? Nothing. Nothing. He has played some tournaments and he has lost early. He will... Guys, even though the Djokovic is 35 years old, he is still very competitive on ATP Tour, in the ATP Tour. The only threats I see Novak Djokovic having is 3 threats. Medvedev is a good hardcourt player. Rafa Nadal on clay, not Rafa Nadal on grass and hard courts, and Carlos Alcaraz. These 3 are the only threats I see Novak Djokovic. All the others, they are more or less just jokes according to me. Djokovic handles them really good. So the best tennis player in the world is Novak Djokovic and not Carlos Alcaraz. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. See you next time. Peace.